Have you ever imagined what it would be like to live in a world where dinosaurs still roam the earth? Giants over 50 feet tall competing for territory, fierce predators stalking their prey in dense forests. The extinction of dinosaurs 65 million years ago shaped the planet as we know it today. But what if the meteor had never struck? What would our world look like? Could humans, animals, and dinosaurs coexist? Get ready for an intriguing journey through time, where we'll explore the surprising consequences of this scenario. After all, what would it be like to live in the age of dinosaurs today? Stay until the end and discover theories that will challenge your imagination. Humans might not even exist. If dinosaurs had never gone extinct, the evolution of mammals, and consequently humans, might never have happened. 65 million years ago, when the meteor struck Earth, it caused a mass extinction that wiped out about 75% of all species, including dinosaurs. This event created an opportunity for small mammals, which had lived in the shadows of these giants, to thrive and evolve. Without this extinction, the world would have remained dominated by colossal reptiles, leaving little to no room for the rise of large mammals like us. Imagine a planet covered by dense, dangerous forests, where giant predators like Tyrannosaurus rex and velociraptors roamed freely. Small mammals would have had to live hidden underground or in trees, with no chance to evolve into more complex species. The food chain would have been entirely dominated by dinosaurs, forcing smaller creatures to adapt to invisibility just to survive. And if by some miracle humans had emerged, life would be drastically different. We wouldn't be at the top of the food chain, we would be prey. How could we compete with creatures that were fast, strong, and perfectly adapted to their environment? Our cities would be fortresses, designed to protect us from these predators. Human intelligence might give us an edge, but we'd live in constant flight, seeking shelter and creating weapons just to survive. Without the extinction of the dinosaurs, it's almost certain that our story wouldn't have even begun, or that we would exist in an eternal struggle for survival, with no time or resources to build the civilization we know today. Cities as fortresses. If dinosaurs had never gone extinct, our cities would look entirely different from what we know today. Instead of towering skyscrapers and bustling streets, we would live surrounded by gigantic fortresses designed to withstand attacks from colossal predators. Massive walls, watchtowers, and defense systems would be essential to keep carnivorous dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex or Carnotaurus away from urban centers. Imagine a city like New York, with walls as tall as mountains, drones, and towers, monitoring the skies for flying dinosaurs such as pterosaurs. Everyday life would be full of precautions. Children couldn't play outside without supervision, and farmers would have to protect their crops and livestock from giant herbivores like Diplodocus, which could destroy everything by consuming tons of vegetation daily. Transportation would also pose a significant challenge. Roads and railways would need to be built on elevated platforms to prevent dinosaurs from crossing paths or destroying them. Armored vehicles would be commonplace, and traveling to another city would require careful planning, protection, and armed escorts. In more remote areas dominated by dinosaurs, isolated populations would constantly struggle to defend their lands. In a world ruled by dinosaurs, architecture and urban planning would revolve entirely around survival. Humanity would need to adapt every aspect of modern life to coexist with or defend against these colossal creatures. Dinosaurs would dominate the food chain. If dinosaurs had never gone extinct, they would remain at the top of the food chain, dominating terrestrial, aerial, and aquatic ecosystems. Predators like Tyrannosaurus rex, Spinosaurus, and the agile velociraptor would hunt freely, forcing every other species to evolve extreme survival strategies. Mammals, birds, and smaller reptiles would have little room to compete, living in the shadows of these giants. Coexistence would be nearly impossible. Imagine dense forests and wild regions ruled by creatures up to 50 feet long. No modern animal, not lions, tigers, or bears, could match the strength and size of these beasts. Herbivorous dinosaurs, like Brachiosaurus, would also play a critical role, consuming entire trees and reshaping ecosystems with their insatiable appetite. In the oceans, the situation would be no different. Creatures like Mosasaurus, a feared aquatic predator, would dominate seas and rivers. Any attempt at navigation or fishing would require extreme caution to avoid attacks. Marine life as we know it would have evolved entirely differently, or perhaps not at all. For humanity, if we had managed to emerge, survival would be a constant challenge. Agriculture? Livestock? Difficult. Life would revolve around escape and adaptation. The top of the food chain would not belong to us, and our intelligence would have to compensate for our physical vulnerability. Perhaps we would have developed nomadic societies, constantly on the move to avoid predator-dominated zones. Thus, dinosaurs would have maintained their absolute dominance over Earth, while other species would struggle merely to survive. Impact on ecosystems. If dinosaurs had never gone extinct, the planet's ecosystems would be completely different. Herbivorous dinosaurs, such as Triceratops and Brachiosaurus, consumed massive amounts of vegetation daily. Imagine millions of these creatures roaming through forests and plains, devouring entire trees and plants within hours. This could have led to the destruction of many green areas, creating deserts where life once thrived. Plants, in turn, would have had to evolve to survive. More resilient and fast-growing species would dominate the planet, competing to regenerate quickly. It's possible that trees and shrubs would have developed tougher or even toxic characteristics to deter these voracious giants. The natural balance, which today involves mammals and insects, would have been entirely dominated by giant reptiles. Additionally, giant carnivores like Tyrannosaurus rex and Giganotosaurus would control the herbivore population, but their impact would be devastating. Large areas could become hunting zones, depopulated of smaller life forms. Modern animals, such as birds and small mammals, would have to evolve extreme survival behaviors or simply would not exist. Rivers and seas would not escape this impact either. Giant aquatic reptiles such as Mosasaurus would dominate the oceans, making the waters dangerous for any other forms of life. Creatures like fish and whales would likely never have evolved into the species we know today, leaving the marine environment entirely under the control of aquatic dinosaurs. In conclusion, if dinosaurs had remained on the planet, ecosystems would be more aggressive, unstable, and entirely different. Modern life, with its delicate food chains, would be unimaginable. Transportation and coexistence. If dinosaurs had never gone extinct, humanity would need to create extremely creative solutions for transportation and coexistence to survive in a world dominated by these giant creatures. Roads, railways, and maritime routes would constantly be threatened by moving carnivorous and herbivorous dinosaurs. How could we possibly traverse territories filled with predators like the Tyrannosaurus rex or Spinosaurus? One possible solution would be the development of armored vehicles designed to withstand attacks and even ambushes by dinosaurs. Cars and buses would become true mobile fortresses, while air transportation would be highly valued since traveling on the ground would pose enormous risks. However, flying dinosaurs such as pterosaurs would also present a threat, attacking smaller aircraft. Beyond transportation, coexisting with dinosaurs might lead to attempts at domestication. Just as we have domesticated horses and elephants, it's possible to imagine giant herbivores, like the Triceratops, being used as means of transportation or even as tools for agricultural work. Smaller and more docile dinosaurs could be integrated into human life, but domestication of predators would be nearly impossible, creating forbidden and unexplored zones in various regions. Another challenge would be the development of cities with elevated infrastructure. Imagine massive platforms and suspended bridges to avoid direct contact with dinosaurs. Human populations would live at safe heights, far from the ground, using vertical and protected transportation systems. Therefore, transportation and coexistence would be central challenges in a world where dinosaurs reign. Humanity would need to use all its ingenuity to avoid chaos and perhaps even coexist with these colossal creatures. Technology and lifestyle would be different. If dinosaurs had never gone extinct, our technology and lifestyle would be drastically different. In a world where giant carnivores and herbivores roam freely, humanity's focus would be on survival, not comfort or leisure. Instead of developing cars, smartphones, and skyscrapers, the priority would be creating technologies for defense and adaptation. Imagine a scenario where sophisticated weapons, automated fortifications, and surveillance systems were at the center of innovation. Observation towers equipped with drones and cameras would monitor city borders, alerting people to the approach of dangerous dinosaurs. Engineering would focus on building elevated or underground cities protected by walls of steel and concrete. Additionally, our relationship with nature would be completely different. Planting and harvesting food would be a constant risk, as herbivorous dinosaurs could destroy entire crops in mere hours. This might lead to the creation of protected vertical farms, where food would be grown in large towers or sealed greenhouses. Similarly, consuming meat would be rare, as hunting dinosaurs would be nearly impossible, forcing humanity into a more plant-based and sustainable diet. Our lifestyle would also be marked by constant vigilance and fear. Travel would require months of planning, armed escorts, and secure routes. Children would grow up learning survival techniques, such as how to detect dinosaur tracks or find safe shelters in case of an attack. Thus, technological evolution would be geared toward protection and adaptation, leaving behind many of the modern conveniences we consider essential today. We would live in a highly pragmatic world where every innovation served one purpose: ensuring survival on a planet shared with dinosaurs. Modern animals wouldn't exist. If dinosaurs had never gone extinct, many of the animals we know today would likely never have evolved. The mass extinction 65 million years ago created space for mammals to develop and eventually give rise to various species, such as dogs, cats, elephants, and even humans. Without this opportunity, nature would have followed a completely different path. The ancestors of birds, for instance, evolved from small dinosaurs over millions of years. But what if giant dinosaurs continued to dominate the planet? The evolution of birds might have been interrupted or limited to smaller species incapable of competing with colossal predators. Eagles, owls, and colorful parrots might never have existed. Mammals, on the other hand, would live in constant danger, forced to remain small and hidden. Large modern predators like lions and tigers wouldn't exist, as they couldn't compete with carnivorous dinosaurs such as Allosaurus or Carcharodontosaurus. Even domestic animals like dogs and cats might never have emerged, leaving humanity without its loyal companions. In the oceans, the situation would be similar. Marine reptiles, such as mosasaurs, would dominate the seas, preventing the evolution of whales, dolphins, and other large aquatic mammals. The marine ecosystem would be controlled by prehistoric predators, limiting the biodiversity we see today. Thus, the world would be inhabited only by giant reptiles and creatures adapted to living in the shadows of these beasts. Nature would be far more primitive and wild, lacking the diversity we know today. Coexistence between dinosaurs and modern animals simply wouldn't be possible. Dinosaurs could be studied alive. If dinosaurs had never gone extinct, science would have a unique opportunity. observing these creatures in their natural habitat. Instead of studying fossils and speculating about what they were like, scientists could analyze living dinosaurs, gaining direct insights into their behavior, evolution, and biology. This would revolutionize biology and even medicine. Imagine a world where paleontologists act as explorers, venturing into wild regions dominated by giant reptiles. Equipped with advanced technology, they could observe dinosaurs like the Tyrannosaurus rex hunting or the Stegosaurus protecting its young. Discovering how these animals survived, reproduced, and interacted could provide valuable answers about the history of life on Earth. Moreover, genetic studies of dinosaurs could revolutionize fields like biotechnology. Scientists might uncover genes responsible for tissue regeneration or disease resistance, applying these discoveries to benefit humanity. Who knows? Dinosaurs might hold secrets capable of curing diseases or extending human life. On the other hand, studying these creatures wouldn't be easy. Carnivorous dinosaurs would pose enormous risks, and science would need to develop safe methods for observation and data collection. Large areas of the planet would likely be transformed into protected nature reserves, where dinosaurs could live without direct human interference, similar to the wildlife parks we have today. Thus, the existence of living dinosaurs would bring a world of discoveries and challenges. Science would face one of the greatest biological treasures in history, but would need to find ways to coexist and learn from these creatures without endangering humanity. What if dinosaurs had never gone extinct? The world would be a completely different place, marked by the coexistence or conflict between humans and giant reptiles. Our civilization would need to adapt to survive on a planet dominated by colossal predators and hungry herbivores, while science sought answers about these fascinating creatures. From fortress-like cities to changes in ecosystems, every aspect of life would be shaped by the presence of dinosaurs. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you agree with all the possibilities we discussed? Do you think we missed anything? Share your ideas in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more amazing theories like this one. After all, in the world of possibilities, what else could have happened if history had been different?